Well, that 6-inch coil, it continues to impress. Well, welcome to Finding America. Scott from Florida, a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, sent me a picture of himself together with his brother and his father wearing their favorite Finding America t-shirts. Well, I have to say, guys, I am really humbled by all your support for my channel. I really want to just say thanks so much, and it's really great to see a family out there enjoying our great hobby together. Now, Scott also has a YouTube channel called Punching Plugs CF, and he's made some really cool finds. So I'm going to put a link down in the video description below, and I hope you'll go and check his channel out. Now, we'd love to have your picture, and if you'd like to send your picture of yourself in your favorite Finding America t-shirt, or using your Finding America drop-off, you can do so by sending it to findingamerica01@gmail.com, and I will be more than happy to use them in a future Finding America episode. Oh, and one more thing. While these temperatures are nice and cool finally, I also wanted to mention that we have our long sleeve t-shirts, our sweatshirts, and our hoodies available from our friends Ken and Mark at detectives.com. So, you've done your research, you've checked your maps, and now you're ready to go out and scout some new places to detect. Well, that's exactly what Chris and I did this past Saturday. And it's always a gamble. You never know if you're going to have a good hunt. You never know if your research is going to pay off. But it's that not knowing that adds to the excitement of metal detecting. You might make an amazing find, and you might find nothing at all. But you're out there on a beautiful day, enjoying what we all love to do, and that's metal detecting. All right, well, Chris and I are out here bright and early. The sun's only been up for about 20 minutes.
But the ground is soft.
Oh, the ground is soft. We've had a little bit of rain, and it's much better now. We're trying someplace we've never been before, and Chris made the first good score.
First hole of the day, man.
Oh my gosh.
Look at it.
Wow. Let me get down here so you guys can see it. Oh boy, I think it's turquoise, man. He got himself a ring.
Oops.
It's got a stone in it, I see. Go ahead and pluck it.
See what she is.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Well, I tell you what.
I think that is silver.
It looks silver.
That's awesome.
Oh, look at the stones on the side too. That's got some age to it.
Definitely. Wow. Let me get it here so get a little better look at it. That's very nice.
Pretty.
That's a heck of a way to start the day off.
I'm gonna go home now.
Well, we are on the edge of some woods, and we're just out here kind of scouting. We thought we'd give it an hour. Longstreet had his men camped not near here, but you never know, there could be a picket out here or something, so we decided to come out here and see what we could find. And not a whole lot of signals, but I did get a 16, and check that out. Nice old iron. I don't know if it's part of a yoke. That's very unusual with this piece down here. It's almost like pinchers, if you see, kind of come together there. Definitely hand wrought, but very cool piece. I like it. Well, I checked my hole before I took off, and it rang off again. Give me another 14 signal. Dug down about 8 inches underneath this root and pulled another one out. So if this one has a hand wrought hook on the end of it. So I don't know if it's part of a yoke, but that's pretty cool. Both of them pretty much out of the same hole. That one came out here, and the other one came out just over here. So thought I'd show it to you. Oh, this target was kind of interesting because I've never found one like this before. I was getting a 13, been digging lots of shotgun shells out here in the woods, lots of hunting going on. But this popped up and I thought, oh my gosh, I got a button or a nickel. But it is a shotgun shell, but not like one I've ever found before. It says 12 gauge and made in USA, but the center of it has a duck in flight, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna have to look that up and get a date on this one, but I like it. Very neat. Well, I finally got a pretty nice old target. I don't know how many shotgun shells have you dug, Chris?
A lot.
I think I've got about 20 so far. I would not want to have been standing in these woods back in the 30s and 40s because it was crazy. But anyway, I got a 13-14 signal, pretty deep, 6-7 inches, and I got something Civil War period. And there it is. I got a real nice pistol ball, a drop. Well, I found the pistol ball right where my armrest is sitting. I went over a couple feet, got another signal, rang up 15, dug down about 4 inches. I got this pretty cool piece of lead. I don't know if it's been carved or they ramrodded another bolt on top of this one. I don't know, but look how deep the cavity is on this. I don't really see any rings. It's got some vertical rifling. It's very unusual. I have no idea. They could have been carving on it. I'm not sure, but that's a pretty cool find. Hopefully there's maybe a little bit more Civil War stuff out here. Well, they're really starting to come out of the ground now. I got a 13, dug down about 3 inches. This one's a fired, smaller caliber, but that's number 4. I gave Chris a shout so he can come down here and find a few for himself on a little bit of a hot spot. Well, I've had to work for this target. And it's a pretty cool target, but I was getting a 13 signal, and once I started going deep, I figured it was going to be big iron. And about 10 inches down, you see that in the hole? I'll tell you what, as much as I like digging these, I had to work for this one. It's a railroad spike, but we are so far from the railroad, and we're in the middle of the woods. So I don't know. Could have been repurposed by a soldier, you know, as a tent peg, or who knows, but we are very, very far from the railroad. But I like it. Very cool piece. I left that spot with the pistol balls and left Chris to do some detecting there. And
I got 2.
There you go.
2 more.
Sweet.
That's
so we got a
good size
total
one.
of 6 pistol balls and 1 carved bullet, possibly.
Some sort of bullet.
Yeah, not too bad.
I bet you there's more over there.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, I used the stock 11-inch coil during the entire last hunt. You want to use a larger coil when you're scouting out new areas and you're trying to cover more ground to try to find the hot spots. But I have to tell you, I was dying to put that 6-inch coil back on the Equinox 800 and to go back to one of my favorite dig-it-all spots. And that's what I did the very next day. And just let me say, I was not disappointed. Such an amazing variety of finds proved yet once again, you never know what's going to come out of that hole next. Well, I'll tell you what, it's amazing. This little 6-inch coil, look what it sniffed out of the ground. It was only about 4 inches down, but it is a pocket watch frame. Still has the adjusting knob on top, and definitely has some pretty fancy design all the way around it. Check that out. Wow, I'll tell you what, that is amazing. It was right in the middle of a ton of iron, and it sounded as clear as a bell. So that is awesome. Wow, it's amazing that that was missed. So, great find. Man, we'll see what else is out here. Well, running along with this 6-inch coil, got a signal. It's ringing about 16, I believe. Dug down about 6 inches, pulled out this pull tab. So you may be saying, why in the world are you showing me digging a pull tab? Well, I checked the hole after I filled it in, and I got this real strong blip. And look, I put this right back in the same spot after I took a look at it, and it's some sort of pin. I don't know if it's a hairpin, but it's ringing up at 14. I don't know if it's gold or not, but it's very old. I don't see any markings. It does have some weight to it, so I will test it when I get home and see if it is gold. But what an awesome find. And I tell you, it pays to dig those pull tab signals. Hopefully. I won't count my chickens yet, but when I get home I'll do a acid test on it and see if I did indeed find a little bit of gold this trip. Well, next signal was reading in an 11. Nice solid signal. Went ahead and dug down and I got this cast iron piece. I'll tell you what, I have no idea what it is, but it's definitely interesting looking. It could be like a piece to an old potbelly stove. They had pretty ornate cast iron work, and yeah, that could be. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I bet you it is. See this piece up here? This usually would notch into a slot above it with another cast iron piece. So yeah, I'm gonna call that a potbelly stove piece or a cast iron stove piece. So that's very cool, and just thought you'd find that interesting. Well, next signal, a little bit of a squeaker. Once I isolated, it came through pretty nicely at 13. And once I started having to go deep, I figured, oh, here comes some more iron. And I got down to about 11, 12 inches. And yeah, that's with that small coil. And I got another railroad spike. Definitely been in there a long time. You can look at the rust on this one. But that's very cool. Second one. I'll definitely take that. Well, literally about 10 inches from that hole that I dug the last railroad spike, I got an 11. And look what I got. Another railroad spike. That is 3. That is crazy. And this one's a little bit smaller than the last one. But that is, you just never know what's going to happen when you're out detecting. So I've got 3 railroad spikes. Well, my next thing was 2122. I got something pretty cool in the hole. A really old lighter. Look at that. That is pretty cool. I think I rubbed it with my digger there a little bit. But I'll get it cleaned up, give you a better look at it. Well, that's definitely got some age to it. Yeah, next thing was pretty cool. Got a 15, dug down about 4 inches. And check it out. I got a nice old button with an anchor on it. And a little sew through. So it's probably 30s, could be earlier. 20s, 30s, but pretty cool civilian little blazer button. Well, next signal was a blaring 2324, just like that pocket watch bezel. So that was pretty interesting, and I dug down about 5 inches, and honestly, I don't know what this is. I thought it was like a clock frame, you know, piece to one. But check out that little section there. Looks like that thing moved back and forth at one time, possibly. That's crazy looking. Definitely a lot of age on this piece. Well, my next thing was banging in at a 2324, and I only had to go down a couple inches. And check it out. I really like this. That's a little knob for an old sink with the porcelain button in the center. That is a cool piece. So yeah, that's pretty neat. I like finding that. Well, next signal was a 14, and I dug about 6 inches and got myself a nice garter clip. And this one looks like it's going to have something on it. So I'll get it cleaned up and give you a better picture of it. Well, just keeping on going with the 6-inch coil, and I think I found something pretty darn good. About 4 inches down, ringing in at an 18. I think I might have a token. I don't know if it's sales tax or something. Yeah, definitely a token. I think it is a sales tax. Yep, luxury tax. Now I found one of these, except it was aluminum. I'm trying to remember where it was from. In the same spot, but let me get this brushed off and I'll give you a better look at it. Well, it is another Oklahoma sales tax token. So I found one here, about a month ago, and it was also Oklahoma, so Whoever lived in this house at one time must have been from Oklahoma and lost some of their sales tax tokens, but that is very cool. I enjoy finding these, and this one's about the size of a quarter, and I'll get it cleaned up and take a picture so you can get a real good look at it. Awesome find. Well, here's a couple things you don't usually find in a hole. I got an iron bar, very heavy. And then while I was digging that out, check it out, I got a rat. A little toy rat. It kind of looks like it was a glow-in-the-dark rat. So that's a first for me. Well, I'll tell you what, oh, I'm excited. I have something really good in the hole. Just sitting here sniping signals in between all the trash. Got an 18-19 signal, pretty much a 19. And I dug down and, oh man, can you see what's there? That is incredible. That's a two-piece button with a perfect shank staring right at me. And I swear, before I flipped over, I thought I saw an eagle. So I just went and grabbed the camera and, oh heck yeah, look at that. Oh man, eagle cuff button, beautiful condition. Oh my gosh, I have hunted this place so many times for so many years. I mean, I've been over this exact spot with so many machines, including the Equinox with the 11-inch coil, and never got this. That 6-inch coil is awesome. I've probably hunted this 10 times. Just crazy. I am definitely loving this coil, and I am really loving this button. Well, that button was a heck of a surprise at the end of that hunt, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode. But please don't go away just yet. I have some very cool historical photos of America's amazing past coming up in just a few seconds. And as always, remember, it's history that makes that find a treasure. And I cannot wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.